Now, Party Next Door, Triple S for you. The first week sales are out, and it says that they had sold 249K first week. Now, Drake has been doing everything that he can to get the first week spot. I said in the last video that Drake really does care about having the first week spot because of the things that he's done when it comes to lowering the price of the album, lowering the price of the CD. You know, from $4.99, it was $7.99, and then it went to $4.99. Doing all these things, sending Melissa Ford flowers, trying to promote the album in any type of way, any type of shape or form possible, whether it's respectfully or disrespectfully. Drake is trying everything that he can to get the first week sale. Now, I've said multiple times, and I'll say it again, sales don't matter, but it only matters to Drake and his audience. Why? Because sales are what dignifies and what describes Drake. Drake has always cared about the sales. You could tell from the past when Kendrick Lamar's GNX was on pace to sell 291K in its first week. A lot of the fans were saying, yikes, these are Drake fans. These are fans in support of Drake. They said, oh, that's a flop. Drake's fans were saying that 291K is a flop. So what do you say when he drops 249K? You know, you had a lot to say. When Kendrick had made around 300K, 291K, you said, yikes. You said, yikes. Now it's 249K first week. Is that a flop? Is that a flop to y'all? Y'all tell me. Like I said, over here on this side, bro, numbers don't matter. But from Drake and his team and from Drake and the fans that listen to Drake, I guess sales matter. Because when you have people that talk about first week sales and use it as a metric to see if something flopped or not, this is the type of dilemma you put yourself in. The minute that you sell under the person that you're going against in their first week, now you look like a flop. This is your fault for putting yourself in this position. And now you're making excuses, going to people to tell other people online. He told me to tell y'all, wait for the next chapter. This is the warm up. This is the warm up. Bro, that got to be hurting, bro. You know for a fact Drake did not want to sell 249K. And you know that's why he's saying, oh, this is the warm-up. This is the warm-up where the chinchilla coat's keeping you warm in the snow at the CN Tower, because it doesn't look like they were warming up at all. It looks like it's very, very cold. Now, like I said, the music and the ratings and the first week sales, that don't matter to me. And I know that a majority of these songs weren't innovative at all, and they're not going to hold any weight moving on into the future. A lot of the songs that are in the top 10 charts right now are going to fall from grace. They're going to fall from the top 10 charts. They're not going to do well moving forward. Why? Because they're not things that were different. They all sound the same. They all sound the same like they sound like in the past. None of the songs that Drake made stuck out to anybody. What, Nokia? What, you think Nokia is going to do something? Nah, Nokia ain't shit, bro. I'm going to tell you right now. When I heard Nokia, I thought he copied I Love McConan. Again, you know how he treated I Love McConan back, way back when. But yeah, I Love McConan had dropped the Nokia song. He had a song named Nokia. So when I saw Drake name a song named Nokia, I thought he was copying I Love McConan all over again. But that's besides the point. Drake is really tripping about these sales, y'all. The fact that he has to go out, reach out to a media platform and tell them, yo, this is the warm-up. Wait for the next chapter. You even said it on the album on the most popular song. We know the most popular song from Drake's album is Give Me a Hug. We know that Give Me a Hug is the most popular track from this record. We know that Give Me a Hug is the most popular song on this album. And it's in this song where he says, wait until next summer. Wait until next summer. This is the warm-up, because you knew exactly that you weren't going to sell or reach the expectations that you wanted. Already copping please, already saying that this ain't it. Trust me, the next one's it. Why? Because you're not satisfied with the first week sale numbers, because it didn't pass GNX at 291K. I am assuming, and we'll keep it alleged, that Drake wanted to beat GNX with a collaboration album with Party Next Door. So that way he could say that I did it without even trying, that I did it without even dropping a solo album. I dropped a collaboration R&B soul album that outsold GNX, but that wasn't the case. It didn't outsell GNX. It actually did poorly to Drake's standards, to Drake's fan standards. We know that this isn't the standard that they're used to. We know that they're used to Drake selling 300K or more. And the fact that he didn't do it, even after dropping the album price, dropping the CD price, it got them feeling some type of way. It got them feeling some type of way. I know Drake is hurt after all of this, and I can't help but to think that you put yourself in this position because people of Drake's audience, Drake and the people that follow Drake, are so hooked on first week sales that they end up putting themselves in this position. Nobody put themselves in this position but Drake and his fan base and everybody that cares about first week sales. When you use first week sales as a metric system to see if something flops, you get put in this position where you have to make excuses and say that it was a warm-up. This was not a warm-up, bro. You haven't dropped anything in a really, really long time. Well, the last thing you put out was like an EP of 100 gigs, and that flopped to the floor, that flopped to the ground. Nobody is listening to No Face. You took off Blue, Green, and Red from streaming platforms. You did a lot of things that were questionable about how you felt about dropping music. And now that you drop a collaborative album with Party Next Door, you still continue to make excuses by saying that this is a warm-up, bro. It doesn't make any sense that this was a warm-up. You took time. You did everything that you could to secure the number one spot, and it didn't work. Why? Because you only sell 2K more than GNX on its 12th week. GNX had sold 247K, and you sell 249K, and GNX is on its 12th week. Really think about that. Really think about that. But we know that Drake wanted to pass GNX in its first week sales so that way he could laugh at the fact that he was able to do it with a collaboration album with Party. Look, newsflash, nobody really cared about an R&B soul album at this time. Yeah, you took Kendrick's advice and did the melodies and didn't act tough. But at the end of the day, this is something that nobody wants to hear. Nobody wants to hear a Party Next Door album. And you give Party this album right after you get beat in a rap battle. Now is the time that you want to help Party drop an album. It doesn't make sense at all, bro. It looks crazy. This is not good, at least to Drake's standards. We know Drake's standards, he didn't reach the expectations. He didn't reach quota. He didn't reach the goal that he wanted. And in hindsight, this is not the Drake that sells 300K every time he drops an album. No matter how many people try to tell you online that this album is good, this album was mid and it didn't do well. Yeah, you could like a couple songs, whatever. I'm not hating on it. If you like the song, if you like the songs, bro, so be it. Like, to each his own, bro. I'm not hating on you, whatever. But I'm just saying, bro, it didn't reach expectations. And now you're copping please saying that this is the warm-up. Come on, bro. Let's just be real for a second. Just remember what they said about GNX. Remember what they said about GNX when it sold 291K. I bet a lot of those people that had a lot to say about this album are just going to say a lot more excuses. They're not going to talk about GNX. They're not going to talk about the first week sales. They're not going to talk about the 12th week sales and how Drake was just shy of beating that by 2K. 247K GNX 12th week, 249K Drake first week. It's not going to surpass 249K in the second week. It's not going to do it in the 12th week. By the 12th week, this album is gone from existence. Nobody's going to talk about it because Drake wasn't being innovative. Drake wasn't being creative. He wasn't taking any risk. There was no risk factor in this album. He did not try anything to make people feel like he was really doing something different. He played it safe. He dropped a song with Party. He dropped songs with Party that just felt like everything that we were used to hearing from him in the past. None of this was hitting. None of this is going to hit the mark. Yeah, you probably got like 3 or 4 songs that you probably messed with on the album, and that's it, bro. Nobody is taking this home and saying, yo, this is the one. This is the Drake album we've been waiting for. This is the Party album that we're waiting for. You get Party as number one, so be it, F it, whatever. But Party, Drake, this album, mid. I'm just be real, bro. Real mid. And it's not because of the sales. It's not because of this and that. It's because he wasn't innovative. He wasn't trying something new. He just stuck to what he knew because he didn't want to risk anything. He wanted to play it safe, and he didn't want to do anything that was going to go the extra mile to get him more sales. He just tried dirty tactics like messing with Joe Budden, Melissa Ford, sending her flowers. He tried doing all these things, lowering the price of the CD, lowering the price of the digital sell to $4.99. And even at that, first week sales, 249K. A difference, 2K difference between GNX and its 12th week sales, bro. Come on, bro. You can't fool me, bro. You know that Drake wanted to be number one. You know that Drake wanted to beat GNX. You know he wanted to be the one to have a successful album with Party Next Door. You can't tell me that his expectations for this album were not high. Drake wanted this album to do at least 300K. The expectation, though, for everybody around knew that it wasn't going to hit that. Everybody knew it wasn't going to hit 300K. But Drake is saying this is the warm-up, and if the album that he comes out doesn't do well, we're going to see what happens, man. That's all I can say. We're going to see what happens. He said he's going to drop something in the summer. And it's funny how he says it in the biggest record here. Obviously, the biggest record is Give Me a Hug, because this is where he sneak disses Joe Budden, Kendrick, Kanye. And then he also says, oh, wait till the summer, because obviously he knows that this album, even though he did want it to do well, isn't what's going to get the job done. It's not going to get you what you want. But like I said, bro, and I say it time and time again, record sales do not matter when it comes to good music. But Drake, his fan base, and the people that promote Drake and everything like that always use numbers as a thing to rely on. That's their fault. It's their fault for making that their end all be all. We know that the music will speak for itself. We know that music will only do well as long as the people continue to rock with it. But as far as right now, I'm going to tell you 100%, Drake is copping please. Drake is copping please because he couldn't exceed limitations. And it was his fans that were clowning GNX when it sold 291K. What do they say now when Drake sells 249K? You basically put yourself in this position. His fans put himself in this position because it's like, look, bro, you can't be going based off of the sales. I still stand by that no matter what. And in time, all these songs that are on the top 10, they're not going to be there anymore. They're all going to fall off. And that's just me being brutally honest, whatever the case may be. You can take it how you leave it, take it with a grain of salt, whatever, bro. I don't care. Y'all tell me how you feel about this and get back to me, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.